Good morning, Pastor Steve here. 2 Kings 5:17 through 19. If you will not, said Naaman, please let me, your servant, be given as much earth as a pair of mules can carry, for your servant will never again make burnt offerings and sacrifices to any other god but the Lord. But may the Lord forgive your servant for this one thing. When my master enters the temple of Rimmon to bow down, and he is leaning on my arm, and I have to bow too, when I bow down in the temple of Rimmon, may the Lord forgive your servant for this. Go in peace. Different thought here. Do you notice that this man's heart was changed? I mean, he was indeed a church planner, but he did like the Apostle Paul did. Remember that Paul was born again, and he taught that the legalistic ways the Jewish people of his day held forth for salvation were not the way to God. He preached Christ and Christ alone. But notice when he started preaching, every time he went into town, he went to the Jewish synagogue. I remember a woman who came to Christ in a church I pastored, and she and her family had been attending a church that didn't teach salvation by grace alone through faith alone. One of the women in the Bible study, when she came to Christ, asked her, why do you still attend that church? Why don't you come to our church? She smiled and said, well, I read in the Bible that I'm to be in submission to my husband, and he's not ready to leave that place yet. The woman looked a bit surprised, maybe a bit convicted, but she nodded. Oh, he did come, as he noticed her life changed, noticed the reality of her faith. But he came in God's time. Eventually, he became an elder in that church. I know that there are people who boldly carry the gospel to places you and I might not go. And I know of some who come to Christ then go back to the very pits God saved them from to offer others the way out. God is capable and kind and will make a way to share the blessed faith if you trust him. It wasn't the sacred earth that mattered, was it? It wasn't anything but a heart that truly believed in the God of Israel and was devoted to God. Notice, he was going to honor his earthly master in his religion, but in his heart he would only bow to one. Do you bow to the one true God? Have you come by the way of the cross to a relationship with the living God? If so, you can carry him everywhere you go. Now you ponder that, Pastor Steve.